Shoveling snow.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalavac, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. We'd love to thank our sponsors. Before we get moving here with another great interview, we got People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. In the studio now is Lisa Peterson, a nutrition and wellness educator for the University of Illinois Extension. How are you today, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing super well. Thanks for coming in. And it's the new year, new month, and I absolutely love finding out what our food of the month is. This food might be debated, food or liquid. What is it? What is it this month?
Yeah, it's National Soup Month, actually, which is perfect. We're in the cold months. This is a great time to, because I'm a nutrition educator, sneak in some extra fruits and vegetables, especially the vegetables. But it's the cold months. You're more likely to eat soup. Yeah. I'm an advocate for all time of year you can have it. You can always do the cold soups, the hot soups. But this is also a time as we get through January. We also get into February, which is Heart Health Month. So really, when we talk about soup, one thing we do focus on is, especially in my classes, is looking at lower sodium options. You can still add some salt, but trying to limit that just to lower your blood pressure. It's good for your health. And finding ways to make soup without all that extra sodium in it. Sure. So if you go in the grocery store and look at a label, usually a soup is pretty high in sodium. So, and ideally you do want to try to keep it less than about 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, which is about a teaspoon, which is very difficult, especially if you look at a can of soup that has almost that entire amount of sodium. So,
So a lot to consider right there. And we're moving into Heart Health Month. So this all coincides very well right here. And you love it because you can mix in the vegetables and the fruits very easily right there.
Yep.
You mentioned so many things right there, but the sodium with soups, that's a common thing we're always looking at there. When you're making your own soup or you are buying your soup, that's just salt content, just adding too much salt.
Yep. And that some of it is you don't taste. And that's something people miss, is that you don't always have to taste that sodium that's in there. It's that chloride that gives it that flavor, but finding ways to cut it down, making it at home is one of the easiest ways to do it, because we always say if you're cooking at home, you know exactly what's going into your food. Right. So that's the idea of it. My classes we do on soup, I'm doing a couple throughout the 4 counties I cover, and we do make a lot of soups. We actually do some where we always start with a base. So something about onion, we'll add a chicken broth or a chicken stock or something like that. But again, when we shop for that, you always look for the low sodium options. Okay. So, and there is no salt added. You can always do that. But if you're somebody who has a palate for really salty foods, that's my first suggestion, is go to the low sodium, not the no salt, or you'll miss it. And then maybe add some spices in there, herbs, add things that'll give it some kick without all that extra salt.
Totally. Yeah. Soups are one of those things you can kind of be creative with and do your own thing, but you can get carried away with the spices and the salts, and a lot of that can prove to be no good. But also there's a lot of really interesting ways to be healthy with soups. What are we adding in for that nutrition?
Yeah. So one thing that I suggest to people too, when you're adding vegetables to your soup, is saute them first. Add a little oil and saute it. It actually keeps the vegetables crisper in the soup. So that's one suggestion. If you are somebody who's a fan of using these Instant Pots or pressure cookers, that's my favorite way to make soup. It helps because you're not losing a lot of those flavors. It all stays within that pot and you get a lot more flavor out of it. Okay. So that'd be my first suggestion. If you have a pressure cooker, that is an excellent use for it, is making soups. But of course, the longer it sits, the more flavor you get out of it. I always say soup is better the second day because it sits and the flavor really develops in it. But yeah, lots of different vegetables you can use in there. I've been encouraging people to use kale, which is one of those vegetables that are great in there. It's a good source of vitamin E. Again, fruits and vegetables are high in those vitamins and minerals. And as we're inside more, people are more likely to get a little bit more sick. This is a great idea to add more vegetables, kind of help our immune system be a little bit stronger.
Totally.
Yeah.
I just got a crock pot for Christmas. And I want to make soups in that. I got all these types of ideas. But is that a way people can make soups?
Yes, absolutely. Cool. And we have great chili recipes for that, some potato soup recipes. You can always call the extension office and we're happy to give you recipes. We have them on our website as well. and find them that way. But we always have at least options as well as nutrition information on there. So wanting to make sure, is this low in sodium? Is this low in fat? We're there to help you and help you make kind of healthier choices with that.
I love that right there. Always available at the extension to help out with that. You talk about pressure cookers. Those are very popular. They scare me personally. I don't know if I want to use the pressure cooker, but that a lot of people seem to utilize those out there.
Mhm.
Soups they can be really easy to make. You can let them sit, right? I mean,
Yep.
how long?
Yep.
And you mentioned they last for a long time, which is really
Yes.
good in there. How long do you recommend you can let that soup sit in? We'll let it be no meat inside the soup.
Sure. So, I mean, even either way, if you make a soup and you're going to store it, I'm going to tell you about 4 days in the
Okay.
refrigerator. I mean, 3 to 4 months if you're going to freeze it. One thing we do have to watch is how we cool soup down. So that's one thing people miss. It's one of the leading causes of foodborne illness is actually failure to properly cool food.
Yeah.
So making sure that you are cooling it properly. There's different ways to do it. One thing is an ice bath, shallow pans, putting ice as an ingredient in there. Making sure you get a thermometer out and make sure you get it down to at least 40 degrees within 4 hours.
Wow.
So, and that again, people miss that because they put it in these big containers and that middle doesn't get cold enough fast enough. And you get sick and you have no idea why. And that's why it didn't cool properly.
That's a big factor. That's one that I forget
Yeah.
about all the time. And I
Yep.
wonder, every dish I make, how long do I let it sit in the Tupperware container before
Yes.
I put it in the fridge? That's a
Yep.
big factor, though. I didn't
Yep.
realize
Yep.
that the foodborne illnesses can still be
Mhm.
introduced right there. So letting it sit out, that really helps.
Yeah, we don't want it to sit out either. And that's one thing, that's a myth. People think I can't put it in my fridge
Oh.
so it's hot. And you can still put it in your fridge if it's hot. Your fridge is going to kick on and keep working. It's the problem is people get sick and it doesn't warm up everything in your fridge. It's they're putting it in these big containers. We say no more than about 2 to 3 inches deep. So even like the smaller gladware, those are great. I mean, if you can do stainless steel, that's not as an insulator like plastic is, but that's not always an option. But yeah, making sure that either put it in an ice bath and just mix a little bit. People even buy commercial cooling wands, which are nice, and mix your soup that way and cool it down. But yeah, making sure within those 4 hours you get it down to 40 so no one gets sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really important to mention right there. And your final step of the whole
Yeah.
process right there, you got to remember to do that before you pop it in the fridge. Very
Yeah.
important to know. You mentioned cold soups. What kind of
Mhm.
cold soups are out there? I've never even heard of
Yeah,
cold
so
soups.
they're called gazpacho is
Oh,
one of them.
okay.
That's it's kind of like
Heard
a
of that.
salsa soup. There's cucumber soups we have that are cooler. A lot of times you see those more towards the springtime. You'll see a lot of people getting those out. I've had a celery soup before that's cold. I mean, honestly, you could take any soup and make it a cold soup, but the refreshing ones are things like gazpacho or cucumber soup or things like that, where they're just kind of a lighter soup. Again, it's a great liquid. We're always dehydrated as Americans, so it's a great way to get a few more or a little bit more liquid into your diet as well.
You say we're always dehydrated as humans. I've heard that before. No one's drinking as much water as they should be out there. I try my best. What's the recommended daily dose of water?
So that's a hard question to answer because it really depends on the person. And it also depends on the physical activity. We've done research on it. We've tried to see what's the exact number. There isn't one. The Institute of Medicine actually recommends how much liquid you should get per day. A lot of times you do it based on your urine color, which isn't always a fun way to talk about, but we always say if it's dark, you need to add more liquid or you need to drink a little bit more water in there. So, but again, it doesn't have to be water. It could be fruit, it could be vegetables. That all has liquid in it.
Yeah.
But so that, the 8x8 rule, you have 8 cups a day. That isn't necessarily research based. So that's where we'll tell you, look at your urine, talk to your doctor, and just try to have a water bottle near you. That's a big thing.
It's a good thing to employ into your life. If you just have it
Yeah.
near you, you're more employed.
Yes.
More chances are higher to drink it
Yep,
right there. So
within your sight.
stay hydrated out there. And it's like all the
Yeah.
doctor's first recommended thing. If you're
Yes.
feeling sick, stay
Yep.
hydrated.
Yep, and that's one thing too. When I go to schools and we talk about different drinks and different sugary beverages, is if you're ever feeling tired in the morning, instead of I'm a coffee drinker, I'm an avid one, try going for water first because there's a good chance you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
So that water will help. And they always say coffee's a diuretic. There's been research on it. Water or coffee isn't necessarily a diuretic. It's not going to make you, it's another way to get liquids into your diet. And the Institute of Medicine actually recommends coffee or keeps it in their list of liquids.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned liquids, more
Yeah.
intake of liquids.
Yes.
You mentioned you can get
Yep.
that through fruits and vegetables
Yep.
and even milk. Can you drink milk?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Get some calcium in
Sure,
there.
yeah, even better, even better. We're getting ready to take our little break right here, but the first half we were talking about, it's Soup Month,
Yeah.
Miss Lisa Peterson. So any last words for Soup Month here for our listeners?
Yeah, always feel free to go to our website, see what's going on in Extension. Like I said, I have a couple soup classes coming up within my 4 counties. That's go.illinois.edu/CJMM.
Awesome. We're going to be talking about those soup classes here in just a little bit. Right after the break, my name is Tim Zalabak. We're sitting down with Lisa Peterson, nutrition and wellness educator for the University of Illinois Extension. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Looking for a unique and fun Christmas gift for friends and family? Join us for our second annual Murder Mystery at the Willow Ridge Winery, April 27th, 6 p.m. This is Shawless Nagel, Executive Director of Kimmer Village in Assumption, Illinois. You can get individual tickets for $65 or a VIP table for $8 for $500, and this includes a charcuterie board. Visit kimmervillage.org/mystery. Come join us for the fun, April 27th.
I'm Jeff Grimmett, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Taylorville Junior High School Students of the Month on all of the WTIM platforms.
I'm Elena Harker, 8th grade student of the month. My parents are Bobby and Hank Harker. School subjects I enjoy include math, PE, ELA. This year at TJHS, I'm involved in basketball, cross country, track, and student council. After high school, I'm considering nursing as a career.
Congratulations to these students on this honor from People's Bank and Trust. We put people first every day at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment. Also, our archive shows. After they air on the weekend, you can find them every Monday at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. So listen when you can. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Central Illinois Outdoors. Central Illinois Outdoors on Facebook or at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. We'll see you there.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Here's Dr. Pavi Gill from Springfield Clinic, Taylorville.
Lifestyle medicine is about motivating you to improve your quality of life by changing habits and behaviors.
Find out more by clicking Dr. Gill's icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Your Christian County Health Department has both COVID and flu vaccines available, with both high-dose and regular dose flu vaccines in stock. Call them. Make your appointment now. Get their number and more info by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak, and we would like to thank our sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We've been talking to Lisa Peterson, nutrition and wellness educator for the University of Illinois Extension. That whole first half, we talked about National Soup Month and how you can work soup in very healthy ways there. And Miss Lisa Peterson has a class coming up there at the Pena Wellness Center. Talk to me about this class.
Yeah, so we're really excited about this. We're going to kick off the year partnering with Live Well Pena, which the class will actually be in the lower level conference room of the hospital. So right next door to it. And if you go in the main door, they'll tell you where to go. But this is called Current Diet Trends and Building Healthy Habits. And what this class will be is we're going to break down kind of the pros and cons of some of these very popular diets, such as ketogenic. We'll break into the Whole30, the paleo diet. We also get into a little bit on the intermittent fasting of it, as well as some that are research-based and recommended, such as Mediterranean eating plans and the DASH diet, which is the dietary approaches to stopping hypertension. Right. So we'll kind of break that down as well. And then we'll spend the other half of the class talking about habits. So there's actually research out there that shows that you can't always break it. When you break a habit, you're often replacing a habit. Mm-hmm. So we're going to kind of take, instead of the New Year's resolution approach, we're going to talk a little bit about our habits and how we can maybe find some healthier habits or ones we perceived as bad and how we can replace them with healthier options. And we'll be doing some hands-on work there. We'll have you writing things down and we'll talk through it and kind of working your way to be a little bit more successful on some of your plans for this year.
Sure. Love it. Flipping the script a little bit there for the New Year's resolution type of deal. And now you mentioned a lot of ways of thinking about diets, the
Mhm.
different diets right there. And I could recognize a few of those with the
Yeah.
keto and the intermittent fasting. Talk to us a little bit about these. And I mean, how are you relaying these to the people that come in?
Yeah. So again, we're going to kind of cover just information on these diets. The ketogenic, for example, it's putting your body in a state of ketosis. And then what you're doing is you're basically severely restricting your body of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of break down, like I just did, the definitions of these, what they are. And then we're going to talk about the pros and the cons and what the research said on some of them. We do not endorse any of these diets, but we do want to talk about it. For those who are interested in learning a little bit, we'll talk about what is prohibited on them, what's included. And then, like I said, we will get into a little bit more on like intermittent fasting. So some of the new research that's coming out on that, as well as that Mediterranean diet. We'll get into the dietary habits developed for the guidelines for Americans. And we'll really dive into all these different diets we hear about. And we love when you come in bringing in new diets that we haven't heard. So again, that promotes us to do more research on it and learn what Americans are doing for dieting.
Sure.
So,
It's all about building those habits right
Yes.
there, and just
Yep.
knowing about the options out there
Yeah.
for you probably would make it easier. And
Yep.
that keto diet, it's
Yeah.
seems so restrictive, right, with
Mhm.
carbohydrates. But if you're going to understand what that diet means and what it can do for you, I mean, you can start to work those healthy habits kind of into your life.
Yeah, right. And it may not be you stick to this strict diet.
Yeah.
You might find little things in these diets that you think, okay, I can adapt that. I can find ways to use it because there's no one diet for everybody. And that's the thing we really promote within these. Every person is different. We do suggest, and I'll say it throughout the class, you consult your doctor before going on one of these diets because some of them can be a little bit more restrictive and could potentially cause more harm than good, which we don't
Sure.
want to happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're going to break down that Whole30, paleo, ketogenic, intermittent fasting we'll get into, and a couple other ones too, as I'm doing more research on more of these diets that are coming up and emerging.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like those are a lot of new ones come out all the
Mhm.
time there, and it's
Yeah.
finding the best one for you. So it's really
Yeah.
important there to reach out to your physician or whoever might make that decision for you. Where can people go for this registration? I'm sure there is a process for that.
Yep. So because we are partnering with Live Alpena, this is going to be, like I said, in the lower level conference room at Pena Hospital. It's at 10 a.m. It starts at 10 a.m., goes to 11:30. You'll probably get done earlier than that. And that's January 19th. So it's on a Friday. But yeah, come on in and you sign up through the Wellness Center. It's completely free. That phone number is 217-562-6231.
Awesome.
So when you call them, just say, hey, I want to sign up, and they'll write your name down. And then they'll let me know how many people. So I have everything I need when I come in.
Easy. All right.
Yeah.
There's going to be handouts of something people can walk away with
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. We'll have handouts. I'll give you a really small little workbook as we talk about habits to hopefully set yourself up for success. And then we will dive into, as well, I always do at the end of my classes, what kind of classes do you want to see coming from Extension? We want to make sure we're serving the people as to what they need and what they want to hear from us. So we're here to provide that research-based information.
Without a doubt, all types of information that will all be helpful in everyone's normal daily life right there. So does the extension have any resolutions this year?
I'm not sure.
What about
I
nutrition
think
and wellness
to
educators?
continue to serve our people, make sure we're reaching everybody. We always say we don't want to be the best kept secret, which is what Extension has been known for. And we want to make sure that we are helping our community be healthier, having the information to make healthy choices and research-based choices. So yeah, you can always reach out to us. We're working on setting up our schedule for the year. So be sure to check out our website for all of our classes coming up. We are working on getting a few more of the hands-on classes. I know I'm going to work on getting some canning classes going again, talking about cottage food again. But stay tuned.
Yeah, of course. It's funny and it's sad that you guys are known as the best kept secret. I drive through towns and I see an extension building in a random town right there. You guys are all spread out, and these programs and services are really offered everywhere.
Yes. Yep. And again, you're looking for recipes, looking for information, you're questioning something you read online, call us, and we're there to help you.
Beautiful. In our last minute here, Miss Lisa Peterson, one more time, phone numbers and websites people can go to.
Yeah. So in order to get a hold of me directly, because I travel a lot, the best way to get a hold of me is via email, and that is lap5981@illinois spelled out.edu.
Awesome. Lisa Peterson, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is Lisa Peterson, a University of Illinois Extension nutrition and wellness educator, here as a guest on WTIM's morning show. We'd like to thank our sponsors that make the show possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Lisa, we got a little bit more time to fill right here, but we talked about soups today. What's your favorite soup, Lisa?
Oh man, it's got to be chili.
Chili. Are we
I
counting
put that
that?
in there.
We
Yes,
count that
I
as a
would
soup.
consider chili a soup.
All right, we're going to take it from the extension professional here. Chili is a soup. Once again, my name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. And once again, thank you to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. We will be back here with our last segment of the WTIM Morning Show right here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm